It is 1:18 p.m. August 9th of 2015. I'm in front of the Unitarian Church in Montreal, and I'm looking at a chalk slogan about how Unitarians, specifically the Unitarian Universalist Association in Boston, have tried to misuse Canada's blasphemy law to cover up Unitarian Universalist clergy abuse. Specifically, such despicable crimes as pedophilia and rape committed by certain Unitarian Universalist ministers, to borrow a few choice phrases from Stikeman Elliott, barristers and solicitors litigation lawyer, Maitre Marc-Andre Coulombe. And what's noteworthy about this is that I made this chalk slogan at around 10:30ish this morning. It is now 11 o'clock, 12 o'clock, 1 o'clock, basically 3 hours later. I left my protest at around noon, so this is kind of interesting that the slogan is still here, at least an hour or so after I left, because normally the Unitarian Church has someone come out and get rid of it. So they have someone come out and erase it, but they haven't done so. Good day.
Hi.
Yeah.
It's always something.
It's always something, yeah.
They gotta, if there's nothing going on, people have to create it.
Yeah, I think it's quite funny because Unitarians are actually known to oppose blasphemy laws because they've been accused of blasphemy in the past.
What is blasphemy? I've heard
basically
of it.
Deeply insulting a religion. Basically blasphemy is basically severely criticizing in a disrespectful manner a religion or a prophet or God, for that matter.
I thought Unitarians were the ones that accepted everybody, no matter what, no matter who, no matter,
Well, that's what they claim. That's what they claim, but no, they obviously don't. So this is my chalk slogan. I put it there because I'm the one they're accusing me of blasphemy. Yeah, which is a criminal act in Canada. We actually have a blasphemy law in Canada. It's in the Canadian Criminal Code. A person found guilty of blasphemous libel, which is what they call it, can spend 2 years in jail.
Wow.
So they sent me a cease and desist demand letter accusing me of blasphemous libel, allegedly, and this is like an exact quote from the letter, for making unfounded and vicious allegations to the effect that ministers of the association engage in such despicable crimes as pedophilia and rape. Now, I had in fact blogged about certain Unitarians who had been convicted of rape and pedophilia, and both actually. One of them raped preteen girls, but these people were convicted. They went to jail, and yet they're trying to pretend that I'm blaspheming against the church. They're trying to pretend that my allegations are false. So it's just crazy. So yeah, I protest against that specifically.
Okay, I see.
And I was shooting video of it because I actually left here well over an hour ago. And it's still here. It's like a small miracle.
Wow.
Anyway, good talking to you.
Well, at least now I know.
Yeah, now you know. Yeah, that's what that's there for. Yeah.
Well, good luck to you.
Thank you very much. You too. Yeah. So that was a woman who was looking at the chalk slogan here. That's hasn't been erased, and so we just had a nice chat about Unitarians misusing Canada's blasphemy law to cover up clergy abuse. Indeed, such despicable crimes as pedophilia and rape, as I explained to the lady. And she responded in a manner that's typical of the ordinary Canadian public. Most people who see this kind of chalk slogan or see my picket signs, which are in this bag, they're bagged because I left this protest over an hour ago. I was only happened to come back here because I had taken a visit to the NDP riding office to have a little discussion with them about Sue Montgomery's involvement, or at least complicity, in Unitarian Universalist misuse of Canadian blasphemy law to cover up clergy abuse. But besides being complicit in this Unitarian Universalist Association misuse of blasphemy law to try to intimidate me into removing blog posts about Unitarian Universalist pedophiles and rapists, prior to that, Sue Montgomery has been directly involved in efforts to prevent me from protesting in front of the Unitarian Church of Montreal here. Efforts that misuse the Canadian Criminal Code or Montreal municipal bylaws, you know, efforts that threaten me with arrest for crimes or try to obtain a restraining order against me on the basis of paranoid fantasies and perjurious lies. And also efforts to just have me ticketed into oblivion, you know, basically trying to get the SPVM to give me rather expensive tickets and figure if you get enough of them, the guy will quit. So Sue Montgomery's been directly involved in that kind of stuff, and that's why I decided to let the NDP riding office know about her lack of integrity and her disrespect for the fundamental rights and freedoms of yours truly. I don't believe, you know, someone who's running for public office should be someone who has such little respect for fundamental rights and freedoms as to try to deprive a person of exercising of them in very underhanded manners, you know, such as I said, you know, trying to get a restraining order against them on the basis of, you know, paranoid fantasies, perjurious lies, and additionally also having them threatened with tickets. You know, I've had SPVM cops, you know, try to pretend that chalk slogans on the sidewalk are illegal. And yes, there is a Montreal city bylaw that prohibits dirtying a sidewalk, but that city bylaw should not apply to temporary chalk slogans that are part of a expression of one's most fundamental democratic rights. And in fact, you know, this has already been before the courts, and according to the best legal information I have, people who have been ticketed or otherwise had legal recourse against them for chalk slogans, you know, have, you know, ultimately it's been shown that no, actually it is legal and accepted. So strictly speaking, it is perfectly legal to do this, and I've had subsequent conversations with SPVM police officers, and they have actually expressly recognized my right to have chalk slogans. So I think that issue is taken care of. But anyway, as I said, I was just walking by, saw that the slogan was still here, and decided to you know, video that. And you know, this woman came along and we had an interesting little conversation. I guess I'll wrap up this monologue now. But that's pretty well it for my protest against Unitarian Universalist injustices, abuses, and hypocrisy for Sunday, the 9th of August, 2015.